shift wheel.
This is the new merch that's coming out, and you better get it today because it'll almost be sold out. Please support my daddy with new merch. All the links will be down below in this description below, so you can get this amazing, fantastic cup that has ever been born in the cup history.
Hello and welcome to another Bodgit and Leggit video. Yes, this is the aftermath of the crash. And we have a 1990 Range Rover 3.5 litre V8, and as you can see we've got a lot of work ahead of us. We've got a few new parts or second-hand parts. This is not the original bonnet. The original bonnet is over there. That's all crumpled at one side down there, and this is the bonnet he got, which is slightly different. Same shape but different mounting points. On this bonnet the hinges are designed to go inside. On the other bonnet the hinges bolt outside through a little hole here. So I'll show you on this one. You can see we've got captive nuts here and the hinge goes through. So we have to make this bonnet the same way. So what I'm going to have to do is put some riv nuts in there. I think that's going to be the easiest way to do it. Cut a hole out here and allow the hinge to go through. But what we need to do first is we need to start stripping. So we're going to have to start stripping everything off so we can exactly see what sort of damage we're looking at, and then hopefully try and pull the damage the same way it was created. So what I mean by that is you can see the shunt was here, so we're going to try and pull the same way to kind of get this out, because we're struggling to get parts for certain things. And like everything, older cars are becoming more difficult, and with everything that's going on it's just difficult to get parts in general. So that's what we're going to do, start stripping first. Right, so the bonnet is now off. The issue was, this is a bit of an in-between. When he asked for the bonnet he wasn't really sure. He was asked for exposed hinges or not. He saw the exposed hinges on the door and just assumed the bonnet was exposed hinge where it wasn't. So this is exposed hinges. That bonnet isn't. That's where, but we can make that work. So I want to take this deck off first. It's going to be 3 bolts here, 1, 2, 3, and then a load of screws across the top there. Same the other side. Take off the wipers. No point me showing you that. Once I've done that, we'll see. We can then get to the wing and we'll see what it looks like underneath. Right. Issue you're going to run into with old bolts like this is you need to make sure for a start your screwdriver, whatever you're using, happens to be the right one. This just keeps spinning. It's going to be no good, but it's rusted inside, so that's not good either. So what I've got is I've got a really old Phillips screwdriver which fits, and at the same time what I'm going to do, I'm just going to hit it on top with a hammer like this, and I'm going to twist at the same time. So we'll get that back down there. So hit it with the hammer and twist at the same time. And there we go. That has broken that loose. If I was to try and do that without, it just wouldn't have happened. Do the same thing again over here. And then next one. There we go. Right, so we've got 2 10mm, one inside there. You have to get one from inside the door and another screw just at the top of the door. But the problem is we're having is the whole thing is spinning, so the riv nut underneath is spinning, so I'm having to grab it with the vice grips. So the wipers just slide off here. They can be a bit seized, they're a bit awkward, but then we get that off. At least this deck can come off and we can actually see the back of the wing on the far side to see exactly what's going on. Right, we're getting there. Got the headlight off, as you can see, and we've got the deck off. You've seen how I've taken these bolts, and then there's just a screw here, 10mm there and a 10mm there. Now these do spin, they are pretty annoying. Once you've done that, then you have to compress the hinges, which is, they are quite hard because the deck has to slide off this way, and you can't really take the hinges off without taking the deck off. So it's just one of them rangy quirks that you get on these, and it's not too bad in here. A little bit of surface rust, but I mean, it really isn't too bad. So next thing is wing off. So most of the bolts have already come off here, due to, if anyone can tell me what the word is for this, when aluminium meets steel, what actually happens. So leave that down in the comments. So we've got a few more bolts across there, a few more down there. We'll take this wing off. We will take the front bumper off, and then we can really kind of see what's going on and how far it's pushed in. And yeah, we'll get in there. Right, the wing is now off, as you can see, and we can see we've got a couple of pinch points here. 1, 2. So yeah, it's going to be quite awkward to try and pull. Also, I want to move all this wiring because it's all pinched up here, so I want to see exactly what sort of damage is done. We can kind of see it here, but not fully. I just think it's going to most would be easier getting an inner wing, but I just don't know how easy we can get an inner wing. We'll have to try and find one maybe. But yeah. But I'm just going to keep stripping, take the airbox off, try and move some of this wiring as much as I can, take off the front bumper, and see what we're left with. Right, the biggest issue I've got is, as you can see, I'm doing this at a customer's house, so I'm not doing it in a fully equipped workshop. So we're going to have to be doing some, you know, hillbilly ways of doing this. But it's going to work. So when we pull it, we're just going to be basically tying it to a big pole that's bolted, well, that's drilled into the ground, because there's nothing else we can use. And try and get this as best we can. Also, we are really struggling for parts, so it looks like I'm going to have to be repairing most of this, because just can't really seem to get parts. This section here is completely gone, which is what bolts from the inner wing to the wing. That's just, look, it's completely gone. Just completely, yeah, completely rusted away. So we're going to have to make that. We've got big holes in here. You know, it's a nightmare. And because you know, not all of this is steel, it's alley basically. So again, that causes other issues. Don't know. See, it's completely come out from here. Looks like, is that an angle grinder? No. So maybe I try and drill out the spot wells and see if we can just get this corner, just that corner there. I honestly don't know. But what the first thing we're going to do is we're going to pull this, and we're going to see how good or bad I can get it. Because then what I think I'm going to do is try and maybe just drill out all these spot wells just for this light unit here. Because, I mean, this is repairable, but for the money it's going to cost to repair it, it's going to be easier, cheaper to buy a new section, and then we just weld that section in. So yeah, but that's the first thing we need to do is pull it. Straight back. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Wow. Wow. Yeah, just release the pressure. Right, hold it there. Now look at the difference already. So look how much we've got that to come down and out. We've just got this crease in here. This piece was originally touching over here. So I'm going to cut all that out and maybe just put panels in there, repair panels. It's going to be easier than trying to get that out. That's never going to really come out properly. I'm just working all this now, trying to get all this level, and then we can put the wing on and see roughly where we're at to see what we need to do. But once I cut that, I should be able to bend that in quite easy and put it to any position I want, and then put my repair panels in. That's the plan. Right, just look at how straight that is now. Million times better. So I ended up cutting this out. We got it a lot straighter, as you can see, but I ended up cutting it out because it would make this part weaker, which allowed me to straighten it a lot better. And as you can see, look, it's really, really good now. We've still got to sort out all the front, but I've just been informed that we're not buying any parts of this, so we have to repair what we've got. So yeah, that's what we're going to do. Right, so I've got all this to dress up now. Like I said, there's no parts being replaced, just dress them all up and put them back to what he wants. So we've got a good indication of how far everything is off, because you can see that this is the radiator mount. So the radiator should be pushed back here, but we can see all this is pushed over. So I'm going to finesse all that first, get that lined up, get the radiator lined up. That is the actual fan of the radiator, but there's electric fans in the front. But yeah, that's one of the fan blades. We need to get that sorted too. And but as long as I get that in there, we get that lined up, you can see what we're having, and then I can sort out all this. I'm getting there slowly but surely. You can see how much straighter this is now, and that is in. So the radiator is now lined up, that's nice and straight. We pulled out this a lot, and now I'm working on this area. We've got the corner kind of right, it's looking a lot better. Once we get it kind of straight, if we need to cut any little bits off to repair them with metal, just like I am up there, we can do that. But the trick is with moving metal is not knowing where to hit. Yes, this needs to come down, but you don't just smash down on this. You need to relieve the pressure in other areas. I'm only using these tools, that's all I'm using. 2 hammers, and the small hammers at that, a vice grips and a lever bar. That is all I'm using. Once you relieve the pressure down at the bottom, you can hit this down with a relatively small hammer. You don't need to be hitting it hard. So it's just a case of going over the panel, seeing where the pressure is, moving that back to relieve the pressure to make it easier to move that. Because you can see, it's looking a million times better. And just look how straight that's looking there now. It's just looking so much better. Right, as you can see, we are getting there now. I'm slowly working all this out. Like I said, the customer is right behind me, so he'll back me up on this. He doesn't really want to get any parts, so we're just repairing what we've got, because it's just what we've got. You can see, isn't that right, Will? Yep. Yeah, there we go. I've got this square, but I now need to push this down. As you can see, this is lifted up, but I can't push it down because this is kinked in. So what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to force this kink out this way. That will allow me to push down easier on there. If I try and hit this down with a hammer, all I'm going to do is put too much pressure and dent it, maybe even go through, because it's trying to pull it from here. So release this pressure out first, this will go down a hell of a lot easier. I've got that worked away a lot as well, so slowly but surely then we can start working on this corner, building this corner up. See how much easier that moved now? I took the pressure from here. Now I just need to, you know, just dress all this up. But hopefully you saw that, just how much it moved. Just how much it moved down. So we just dress all this up now, get this looking a lot better with vice grips and a few little love taps with the hammer. So I'm just going to fine tune that now off camera, just with the same tools, bend this, get this shape a lot better, but you can see kind of what I'm doing. After a few more hours fettling, you can see we've got the indicator lined up lovely, we've got the wing lined up lovely. The only thing we haven't got lined up now very well is the light socket, but you can see that needs to be twisted that way. It needs to be pushed down as well. But you can see, without replacing anything, with simple tools, a lot of patience, is lining up absolutely lovely. So there we go. Bit more work to do on this, bit more work to do on the wing, just fettle the top of the wing, but look at that, it's fitting well. Now, as you can see, the grill is in. It still needs to be pushed down, but it's more or less in line, so it's in line with that light and indicator. Same here. Once that's pushed down and it lines up with the hole we've got, we just need to work the actual light fitting. We kind of damaged it a little bit as we was pulling it. It wasn't as bad as it was, but we had to pull at the end of the day, so we had to do what we had to do. Right, now look, you can see what we've done. It's looking a million times better now. Still obviously, there's Will. Still obviously the bonnet, everything put on, but you can see what we've done. Everything's lining up quite nicely, which is good. Not bad for a day's work. Right, look at that. We've got the bonnet on. Now got the headlight and the grille all in. You can see the gaps. Considering we haven't replaced anything, which is hard work, the gaps are all looking well. It's looking like a Range Rover again. Got a lot of welding work to do still, but yeah, gaps are looking pretty good. Now the bonnet isn't all the way down, but you can see the line is very, very close. This end needs to be pushed down a little bit more. The bonnet needs to be tweaked, but the lines are very, very close now. It's looking good, which is obviously a good thing. So we're getting there. It's taken 2 days though to get to this point, but yeah, we're getting there. Right, look at it now once we get the bonnet down properly, but look at that. It looks a million times better. Still got a lot of work to do with the wing. The wing we got, unfortunately, is completely wrong, but you can see, look, we've got the corner back all the way down there to the deck. We just need to adjust that slightly. But once the wing is in and all the welding is done, we're going to be good. The bumper still needs slight bit of touching up, but yeah, I'm happy enough with the gaps considering we haven't replaced anything. It does essentially need a lot of new stuff, but it is what it is. Can only do what I'm told to do at the end of the day, and I was told not to replace anything, so there you go. But it's looking well. Right, look at the line we've got on the radiator now. Look at that, absolutely perfect all the way across. We freed up the fan, and the fan is now spinning, which is good. There's a little bit of damage on one of the blades. Where is it? Just there. But yeah, that's all straight. All the front is straight. We're getting there. We are getting there. New wing on the way, which is really, really good. So we're going to sort that out. But find out in the next video how I'm going to repair all this. You can see how much it's gone in. All this here with 1-inch box. So stay tuned for the next video. And how do you think we are going to do this with that? Look at that. 2.5 finger gap there.